Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam, and if you're joining me from my last video, I really can't express my gratitude enough. But thank you and enjoy the video. So I've been to the Dragonsteel Nexus Con or Dragonsteel Con every year that they've held it ever since 2021 when they released Cytonic, and I've enjoyed it every year. There are a fair few more people going this year than in years past, including a lot of brand new people. And as someone who this will be my fourth time going, I figured I may know a couple of things that might be sort of valuable to know, or at least answer a couple of questions that I've been seeing. So please strap in if you aren't subscribed. I would really appreciate that. It would mean a lot. And let me know if you have any other questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. To start, I would just like to say a word on actually getting a badge. They are completely sold out. However, the Sanderson Collectors Guild, mostly through Discord, has been keeping an eye on badges that are returned and people who are selling them. I would say it's a very slim chance at this point. We're less than a month out. But if you keep an eye on, there is that very slim chance. Now, as far as actually getting to the convention, hopefully you have all of your travel plans in place for actually getting to Salt Lake City. But once you're there, there are a couple of things that you need to know. One, if you're traveling in from outside of Salt Lake on public transportation, the train is called the Front Runner. Then you're going to want to stop at the Salt Lake Central station and then take the Trax Blue line to either the Arena or the Temple Square station. The convention center itself is kind of in the middle of those two stops, so you can walk there very easily. Otherwise, if you are taking an Uber or other rideshare, or if you're driving there yourself, there is parking available pretty much everywhere in Salt Lake. Very little free parking though, so be prepared for that expense. As far as the weather goes, wear layers. It's going to be December. Utah tends to get very cold. The weather is also unpredictable. It can be extremely cold overnight and into the morning, and then if the day is sunny, you'll want to be able to take off a heavier jacket, and then in the convention center itself will be actually quite warm with how many attendees there are going to be. I will say when you're walking outside to keep an eye out for ice, and particularly invisible or black ice. It'll get you, so just be careful. As far as food goes, there will be some food on site, a few vendors that are actually hired by the convention center. There will be food trucks outside. In my experience, these tend to be very overcrowded and very overpriced. If you want to walk just a little bit and you're willing to take a little bit of time out of your day, there is the City Creek Mall that is almost next door. It's just a short walk, and then the food court there's a lot of different options. I would also definitely recommend bringing snacks and water. Plan time in your schedule to eat if that's what you're wanting to do. I would also definitely recommend checking your emails, checking them often, and watching for any communication from the Dragonsteel team. This is how information will be going out. This is where you'll be notified if you have won a signing ticket. This is where information about badge pickup will go. All of that information, keep an eye on your emails. Speaking about badge pickup, we haven't heard specifics yet, but during con hours, you should be able to pick it up at any point. If you want to pick it up before that, last year they did have early pickup the day before. That was a Sunday. We'll see if they do the same thing this year. But keep an eye out for additional information as we get a little bit closer. Now, they will be holding an early number line. So they do this every year. It's tradition going way, way back as far as Brandon has been numbering his released books. And this year they will start the line as early as 4 a.m. on Wednesday, December 5th. And please, the city really doesn't want people landing up any earlier than that. So 4 a.m., hard start. And then they will start handing out the numbers 1 to 1,000 at 10 p.m. So if you get there right at 4 a.m., you'll be in line all day. It will be long, it will be cold. Bring a blanket, bring a chair, probably bring food. I don't have a lot of experience with camping out for this, so if there is anyone who has done this in years past and you want to chime in, please, I'd really welcome that. If you have pre-ordered a book, you will be guaranteed a signed and numbered copy. This is just for the first 1,000 numbers. Another tip is to familiarize yourself with the schedule. It is currently live on tabletop events. Only some events are actually ticketed. This will be the World Hopper Ball, the Charity Magic the Gathering Draft, some of the game room events, some of the kid events, the tournaments, all of the ticketed signings that are on there. Everything else, all of the panels, everything like that, they aren't even going to check your tickets. You can still add them to your schedule so you can plan that way, but it's not a guarantee that you'll get into the room. Not that that has ever been a problem for most of these panels, especially the ones in room 155. That is a massive room. And then the welcome ceremony, the spoiler Q&A, the actual release event, there will be room for everyone, so we don't need to worry about that. However, it is good to plan ahead and have a backup plan, have a second or even third choice for some of these time slots, just in case a panel does fill up. Now, the actual release party. So this will be Thursday night. It is open to everyone, including the public, and they'll start lining people up earlier in the evening for that. There is priority for Nexus attendees, so if you have that badge, you'll get in, no problem. It is mostly spoiler-free. I will say that fans have gotten a little bit better about asking spoilery questions in a spoiler-free manner. So if you're particularly sensitive to stuff like that, it could happen, but no one's going to spoil you intentionally at anything like this. I'd also definitely recommend the spoiler Q&A if you're completely caught up. That is a no holds barred free for all for everything that Brandon has ever written, minus the Wind and Truth previews. The actual signings, and I'll speak to Brandon's signings because each individual author will have their own way of doing things, but Brandon's signings, they will be randomly assigning spots in both the lightning signing and the traditional signing lines sometime in November, so you should be hearing about that in the next week or so, I'd say. The lightning signing is one book, no personalization. Everyone lines up in a great big line, and then Brandon just goes through it, runs down the line, sign, sign, sign. It can be pretty fun if you want to talk to him for like a brief moment, say hi, bye, thanks, that kind of thing. You can, but he really doesn't have much time for each individual person. If you get a spot for the traditional signing line, that is usually the last night of the con, with it being 3 days. I'm not sure exactly how they'll do that, but you will be able to get, in years past, it has been 3 books signed and then a 4th book personalized. You'll be able to chat with Brandon, ask him questions, and get answers. It's a good time. Otherwise, I'd recommend attending panels, spending time in the vendor hall and at the Dragonsteel store. You'll be spending probably a good amount of money. There's lots and lots of fun little trinkets and stuff to buy. You'll also probably be spending a lot of time in line for panels, in line for the events, in line for the store. So be friendly. Everyone loves these same books, and most everyone that I've ever met has been so willing to talk. Every year they have also had a con-wide game. Last year we had reality tokens, and the year before they were doing coins. for Wax and Wane. There will usually be a sign up for that, and just have fun with it. That'll usually get you out and exploring the con, getting you to each different part of it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, take time, enjoy. Feel free to talk to authors in their booths, members of the community, anyone who has anything set up, the members of Team Dragonsteel. There's a lot of cool people to talk to and a lot to be learned. The BYU bookstore and maybe Barnes & Noble will also have booths, so books will be available on site, and then most of the authors will also be selling their own books. That's about it for most of the big stuff, but I do just have a couple of little other suggestions, some tips. If you have time at any of the evenings, go see the Christmas lights at Temple Square. They're beautiful. Be mindful of any spoiler warnings if you aren't caught up. That being said, the only thing totally off limits is Wind and Truth. I have questions in mind for the Q&As or signing lines, just in case. As I said, there is a good amount of standing in line, so wear good, sturdy shoes or whatever you're comfortable in. Be prepared to make friends. There are some options for storing things. Last I saw, most of those were sold out, and none of them are specifically or officially sanctioned by Dragonsteel. They're just people who happen to be in the area. So be prepared to carry around whatever you buy. And my last tip is have fun. Play the games, make friends, trade trinkets. We're all fans of the same things here. If you can happen to find myself or my friend Taylor from the channel Lieber Lita, we'll hopefully have some goodies for you. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys at the con. Have a good one. Bye.